Hello, and welcome to the Libri Libra Book Club. I am joined today by my husband, John, aka BookTube Hubby, and also by Tom, one of our book club VIP members. And before we kind of get into things, hold on, let me pause this over here. If you ever want to join us on screen to discuss the books, you can do that by becoming a book club VIP member at patreon.com/librilabra. And there's a few other perks, like being added to a Facebook group where we talk about some of the media we're discussing or watching or absorbing, consuming, however you want to describe that. And then you also get put in a rotation where you get to help us select what we're reading each month. This month, which is the book for July, we are a little bit behind, was True Life by Kristoff. It is the third book in the... What was the first book? Lifelike, thank you. The Lifelike series. So it is the third book in the end to the trilogy. And so we're discussing July's book. We're going to go over some brief initial thoughts. I don't think there's too much that we can say, being as that it is the third book. If you haven't read the first one, go do that. You can watch our other live show for the second book as well, and then you can come back and check this out. But maybe the question should be like, were you satisfied with how it ended without necessarily like too many details? And then we can kind of jump into spoilers.
But like going into this, there's even a recap diving into the book, so it's kind of nice. Is that what we're looking for here now? Is a recap for where we're at?
Not a recap for where we're at. I'm saying, did you feel like it was a satisfying ending to the trilogy? Like, just answer that question.
Oh, we're already there, huh?
I felt like you could answer that question without too much detail, since we can't really provide...
No, there's a few things that I'm upset about, but yeah. No.
No, it wasn't satisfying? Okay.
No, not really.
All right, I'm trying to pull up, because I have the audiobook, just to show what the cover
I don't think that's going to actually sell anybody on what
the cover looked like. So True Life by Kristoff. Well, if you think initial thoughts is a better question for the third book, then go ahead.
I mean, going into it, I was excited. I was excited to finish the story and find out where it was going and how we got there, and we got there. I mean, cool.
Tom, feel free to answer either or both questions.
Well, I think by this time it's like, okay, I just want to see how the story ends. Because this has been on our shelves for a long time. And the second book, like I said, it didn't build the world anymore. But, it was action, easy read, plot-oriented, whatnot. Third book, it's the same way. So, which is okay. So.
Yeah, you're right. We didn't really learn anything new, did we? It was all just like getting to the final thing. It wasn't any extra going along outside of Abraham's story, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you wanted, if that's the key element there, is them actually.
But the idea of and we're getting into the discussion now.
Oops.
Yeah. Well, hold that thought. I'll continue that when we get into the discussion. Desiree, you have to answer the question.
I mean, I feel like I've said this like every discussion, which is just, I wish I had more knowledge about the Romanov family. I wish I had more biblical knowledge just to dig a little bit deeper into why he included so many like biblical references in a lot of this story, whether if it was just by name or I feel like he had to have thought about it more than that. So I just feel like there is a depth that I'm not reaching, especially having only read this by listening to the audiobook. So I know that I'm just missing a lot of depth, I feel like. But there were definitely things in there in regards to like who we are as humans and who we are as people and what makes us like real and authentic and who we decide to be and stuff like that. So I think those are cool points to kind of dig deeper into as we do the discussion. So spoiler territory. Again, if you have not read this yet, you're going to have to go, unless you've already read the first 2 books, you're going to have to go back to the first one, which was Lifelike. The second one was Deviate. And then this last book is True Life. So, again, because I don't feel like I have the same depth that you do.
What does that mean?
Because you process things better by listening to the audiobook.
It's true.
I either need to be doing both or I have to read it with my eyes, but I didn't feel like buying this book multiple times. So I reverted to the audiobook.
So with your biblical references, I think he really is just referencing the ideas that these beings were made in the image of us, like angels. They were like fallen angels. They rose. They were created. They destroyed their creator. They did some really pretty horrible shit. So,
I mean, it also felt like at some point he was kind of saying like, who gets to play God, right? Like, because I feel like the humans are kind of doing that, but then the robots are like, no, we should do that. It is what I was that was the vibe that I was getting to. So I wonder if that kind of plays a role. I don't know if you have anything to kind of add to that, Tom.
Well, just in the sense that in this case, it's kind of like the inverse of the biblical story in the sense, I don't think it's in the Bible actually. Lucifer's fall from grace.
Right.
Lucifer is a single rebellious one. In this case, it's Ezekiel who's the single loyal one.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Interesting.
Go ahead.
That is interesting.
I want to know. Okay, so we named the third book "True Life."
Mm-hmm.
We were going in a series towards. So Lifelike was the androids.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. We learned about the androids. We learned a lot about their lives, the family that were built around. We learned a lot about them. Then we went to Deviate, right?
Deviate. Deviate's the noun. I was the verb. Sorry.
What was the name of the second book?
Deviate, not deviate. Deviate is the verb.
I see. Either way, so there were deviates, but the idea that now we learned about Lemon, her group, and all of that, and then we named the third book True Life, and then the only actual information we got, the only narrative we got about True Life is that it was created by Daedalus. Like it's basically the Oasis in you could just tap yourself in and create another virtual space.
Right.
So, and the only application of that we see in this book is them torturing Eve.
Correct.
And that was one of the biggest things. Jay, I wanted more info on this. I wanted more out of that. What the hell was that?
My take on that was, if you bastard, if this is all a hologram, I will never touch one of your books again. Thank God it wasn't.
But I mean, like, in this aspect, I think we're just really dealing with everything we're dealing with in real life right now, actually. So we've got, except for the biomass part, I mean, but we absolutely do have corporations and stuff dealing with bioengineering and gene splicing and doing all that garbage. And then we have, oh my God. But I mean, it's like 3 aspects of playing God is what seems circling around here.
Mm-hmm. And True Life is just the extension of the other 2, because the other 2 is, it's the beings themselves, and then what about the environment around them? Well, we can do that too now. So.
Okay.
So what's real, I guess, is the question.
Yeah. Existentialism is going to be weird for the next 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, the what's real is just a question that I feel like a lot of people are asking themselves right now. Like, are we living in a simulation?
Someone broke
Is
the
it
timeline.
like, yeah, right? Like, what timeline is this? Are we living in the Matrix? Like,
As I say, the Matrix has entered the chat.
and I think I asked John the other day. I was like, would you want to know?
Mm-hmm.
Because
That depends on what the next dimension actually looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm actually on the idea level.
But
We're
does
veering away from the story here, but what?
But does it? Does
What?
it matter what the like
But what if if we're already in that simulation, if we're already in pods, dreaming in this crap, and it's and the
dreaming in this crap, right?
and that world is basically Mad Max apocalyptic. The planet's already been hollowed out, and we're inside it and not actually living. We're just batteries. That's a different
Mm-hmm.
story, you know. But I mean, like, you go another step out that, then what? What a never-ending story? It's a dark apocalyptic cloud eating everything. How many different layers up of or reality or existence do you think we need to go here to get to the non one that we've destroyed? Like, I'm wondering if we're just going through this cycle of, well, that we killed this one, let's go deeper.
but what is more important to you, the perception of the reality or
Ooh,
or
good
the truth?
question.
Right. And if there's no difference between them, you can tell. Why does it matter?
Holy crap.
There was
Which is, I think, what Kristoff is going for here.
Yeah, it makes sense.
but on Threads there was like a discussion that was happening about this, just saying that so many people are choosing to be willfully ignorant and that they would probably volunteer themselves as
Yep.
being the batteries for this new AI revolution that is happening. Like,
Mm-hmm.
which was just a kind of, I don't know, that was a lot to kind of process as I was reading that on Threads.
John, going back to to continue from what you said at the beginning of the discussion, we were introduced to the idea of the Brotherhood hating deviants from book 1.
Right.
So if they had done that in book 2, then that would be a revelatory thing. But this is more like, oh, yes, they hate deviants. Oh, surprise! There's one in your midst
Mm-hmm.
who is supposedly protected, which is kind of not surprising, just to show, and the other one
Nah.
saved your asses.
Nah, that was a good story time. I mean,
Yeah.
I've understood that, and I feel like the whole idea of anybody being completely different and their parents being completely against it in some way, and then turns out that their child is that what they've been fighting against their entire lives. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Yeah.
feel like that's a life lesson. It's for a reason.
Yeah, but all three companies in this case are going. This is changing topics a bit. Are going to who gets to be human 2.0? Do we do it? Do we go biomass's route with biology? Do we go Daedalus with technology, or a blend of the two, which is Geonosis's take on it?
Geonosis didn't play too much of a part, did they?
Well, they were they were
killed
off
torn apart
screen.
from the beginning.
Yeah,
Okay.
they were killed off screen.
Yeah, yeah.
But we have to mention it like every few chapters just to
Well, I
hey,
mean,
remember that?
they still end up coming out on top if Daedalus, and Biomass did end up tearing each other apart.
Yeah. But the thing of it is, though, the thing I wondered about is, well, supposedly biomass. They talked about biomass and Daedalus in this instance. Well, how they got their money. Like Daedalus was for electricity, biomass was their farms. If they destroyed both capitals, what happens to the production? Do people starve now and are out of power, or what? That's not mentioned in the unless you consider that part of the rebuilding of the institute.
That would make sense too.
So, as a side note, one of the most irrelevant characters in literature can be found in this book. Lieutenant Morano. He introduces her as to lead the remaining Daedalus troops against Babel. Is it Babel in this one? The Geonosis Tower.
Yeah.
Yeah. and then she dies like in the next chapter. That's like great, excellent.
I mean, you got to have that crew. I'm pretty sure that happens in Clone Wars.
Yeah, I'm sure, but it's just so freaking obvious. It's like,
But I mean,
come
like,
on, you could have done this better. This is lazy.
This troop is gonna go against you. Ha ha ha! You
Yeah.
know you're gonna win, but
Yeah. So. But yeah, I mean, and it's interesting also that nature's saying like with 2.0, with the deviates, quote unquote. Yeah, here's my poker chip in the game here. Here's my bet. Because I assume they arose naturally, or was it some combination of their environment and the genetics and whatnot? Because they don't seem they were like, unlike the others, they weren't engineered. They just naturally occur.
no, I think I like the idea of mutations causing us to do different things and having different abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything manifests differently in every different person. Like even specific drugs, it's just interesting how one thing could affect one person one way and someone else the other. The idea of the Fantastic Four was part of that, and I thought that was cool. But how they went out and they all came back different.
Yep, and all the mutants.
Yeah. But I mean, like, as we progress, as we've come on as humans, there are other humans that we've come across that have extraordinary abilities that surpass what normal people are capable of. And it's usually just have to do with the brain. So I'm very curious to see how that manifests in the next 100 years.
Can one of you remind me, like, what was the difference between Ezekiel and Gabriel? Like, were they different kind of
Meaning what?
life likes?
In what way?
They were all built from the same model, but they were all modeled after different versions of the family members. Like,
yes.
They were modeled after different family members. So I don't know who was matched with who, but
right.
I think it ended up as whichever lifelike killed that member of the family. That was their match.
Oh, they each killed their own. I
think so. Yeah.
Because Zeke was supposed to kill Anna, and he shot and missed on purpose, and then that changed things.
But at that point, Anna herself was a lifelike, so that's it. Because she was injured in the bomb explosion before that happened.
You're right. Okay, interesting. Wow, this is weird. Okay.
If I remember this correctly.
Well, I guess the reason I asked that was it spelled out that Ezekiel was loyal by choice or by programming? I guess was the
that is an open question. Yeah, what do you think it is?
I mean, based on the things that he said to Eve, it feels like it was by choice. And when you look at Gabriel and Ezekiel side by side, they were both driven by love, but they clearly were navigating that by very different paths.
Correct.
So that to me feels like choices on both
except that Gabriel knew the love of his life. His sister, I might add, was killed.
That was all of that was like really weird to me.
Yes, but at that point, Ezekiel did not know Eve was not Eve. Anna, she wasn't Anna. I'm sorry.
I mean, right, but the conversation that I'm thinking about, he already knew that she was Eve, like because Eve was, having an identity crisis, and she was like, "Who am I? Am I just another Anna?" And he was telling her that you get to decide. You are who you are based on the choices that you make, not by what you see in the mirror or what you think you are. So. That just makes me feel that like everything was just about making choices, despite the fact that they were programmed to be whatever they were.
Well, that issue also comes up with Cricket and Eve.
think Cricket's one of my favorite characters.
Mhm. That was one of the best scenes though, was when they put the Cricket's brain into the I'm gonna say Goliath, but I know that's not the right term. The super bot.
Yeah, the Warbot. Yeah,
Warbot body. So
Goliath.
no, it's not Goliath. I know that.
Because they use that word though later, didn't they?
Yes, it describes one of the things, but I know that's not the word.
The big dataless bots were called Goliaths,
yes.
right? Okay. Yeah, it was just a big
Yeah, I just can't.
But yeah, I want to see a visual medium of this in some way,
Right.
even if it's done in like an animation. Like if it's a cartoon, like it would still be a really good story.
If you know Warhammer 40K, the Dreadnoughts are what I think about. Yeah.
No, it seems like there might be a few Warhammer 40K references in here.
And Titans,
the lumbers, the things that he talks about with the
big
biomass.
Things that shoot for 500, Alex. Yeah, that's going to be in there.
Yeah. And just to make sure that I'm clear on this, Gabe had a relationship with Grace, who was supposed to be his sister.
Yes.
And there was like unrequited love between him and Faith, who was also supposed to be his sister.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. All right. I just
never say the I word.
Yeah. That's
who
what I was
Raphael caught with, and before he killed himself. Like again, they were all it's almost as if I don't know. Is it a twin thing? I don't know. Do they do the thing? Like was the Lannister thing a thing? I don't know. But I mean, like if they were all, I'm probably looking at the fact that they were all only that type of creature or thing. So it was like an interspecies thing instead of whether or not we're brother or sister.
Yes, but you spend all of your time around particular individuals.
That's true too.
What's your dating pool?
I mean, sure, and maybe the rules just didn't apply because they weren't human, and there was no like.
There too, they were kids. They didn't know.
They apparently weren't programmed that. Apparently, that wasn't in the.
That wasn't a rule that was programmed.
So, it doesn't go against the 3 laws of robotics. So. We're making love, not war.
Oh my god.
I guess I have to be a robot to understand. Okay. And so Raphael was also a lifelike.
Yes.
And so
but he took his own life.
Like Faith.
Because he read books. It's true. That's what he got. The books gave him ideas, and he started thinking about stuff, and then you don't think about stuff.
It got depressed.
Yeah. Milton's Paradise Lost being one of them. That's directly quoted, as I recall, appropriately. Speaking of the fall of Lucifer.
Being a human is clearly complex.
Oh my.
And a challenge for humans with the fact that it's making like robots go rampant or short circuit or just basically being like, nah, fuck this shit.
Yep. But one of the things I think Kristoff did a good job is showing how biomasses and dataless versions of life were limited. Biomass can only produce patterns, and how much variation is there in the pattern? 0. And they could test up to it, and then dataless, you build the robot, and well, there you have it. Yes, could the AI learn new things? Yes, but that seems, again, more limited in for what a human can be exposed to, experience, and process. Either of them seem limited compared to that. So in that case, Geonosis' approach seems to be the most lifelike, but it's unclear as to whether it is truly life or not, which is the issue of the book, I think.
Which we're not very far away from here.
Yep. They already have robot Olympics and other things. So hey, we're getting
Did you see there's an AI robot walking around Texas. He actually just gets involved and starts hanging out with people and then walks away.
Mhm.
What?
Yeah, I've seen weird videos. I'll share it next time I see him.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
It's it's a very gay robot too. It's very very funny.
Why not?
In Texas even. I
Mhm.
imagine it probably stirred some pots.
Mhm. But with whatchamacallit, what was I going to say? How? Well, one thing I wondered is, did they ever give? And I lost the name I had. The name of the computer program that defended the Babel.
Myriad?
Myriad. Did they ever give her the virus?
I don't think so. Was they supposed to?
Well, if they're liberating everybody,
Didn't know she was part of that. I didn't know because I
why
know she
wouldn't
was
why wouldn't
AI,
she?
but yeah, because Gabe wanted all the control. If he did anything to
And
help
that's
out,
what I'm saying. It's like, yes, we want to liberate you so you can do what we want. That's no, because if you don't do what we want, then no, we don't want. Because I'm sure that there were some. Well, they said a few of the bots did switch sides, I guess, to the biomass T-List and coalition there. But I, I don't know. Most of them, of course, said, "Yeah, we want freedom." So, but freedom is only to the extent of yes, you do what we tell you to do.
here we are again at the societal issue of I don't know. We want our freedom, but then we want to. You're going to be destructive with it? Yeah, no.
Hmm.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. That's not how that works.
Yeah, but that's also like with kids. They teach you to be independent, but then that's cool right up until the kid rebels against the parents. So I think that's just the part of the process. Like you give somebody enough information, they start
Or
processing it, yeah, and they get their
is
own ideas.
that drive for freedom always going to create some sort of violence because of the revenge factor?
I don't think it has to.
No, it doesn't have to. But I mean, I feel like in a lot of instances, it's what we're looking at. I said, or is it just a fear?
I don't know. I think that the person that's still trying to control is the one that's not free. Because, like, whatever kind of stuff you teach anybody else, if you release any expectation of outcome, then everybody should be good.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's like what I mean, if that makes sense, if I'm explaining that
Mm-hmm.
well enough.
Right now, control is being forced in too many places. Oh, I see. Okay.
Right? Because, like, even if we look at society now and all these restrictions or rights rollbacks that are happening in government, like, it doesn't even affect anybody else. It doesn't matter why this person's transgender. It doesn't matter why this person is gay. It doesn't matter about their marriage. Like, none of those things.
In
Like,
your opinion, I think
it
we're getting
doesn't.
beyond the book now.
Well, what you're saying is bothering God. Okay.
Yeah.
That shouldn't even be it either. That's even taught differently then too. So they're not even listening.
Mm-hmm. And for those listening along at home, you may have gathered by now that the actual events in true life, are really,
Really?
yeah, really non-memorable. It's the issues that they point out that are.
I mean, but really, isn't that what, like, reading is all about anyway?
Mm-hmm. Well, it gives you ideas. That's just
Right?
like
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh God, Raph, no.
Yeah. Put the book down, Ralph. No. So
Why else are people working so hard to ban books?
So what?
I said, why else are people working so hard to ban books?
Oh
'Cause
yeah.
it'll turn them whatever they're reading about, just to figure I'm sure.
I mean, I really think it's really going to be hard to squash out that much information at the tip of the information age. They need to relax. They're not going to erase that history. It's not going to be that easy now.
Well, it's like the Barbara Streisand effect. You start complaining about a thing. What's that thing? I should look into that. And here we are. It just gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
So,
What's next?
Well, why was I don't know if we want to jump to this question already, but
It's what's next.
well, I was just gonna
it's on
say
the list. See?
you were disappointed by
The ending here.
the wrap up. So
I'm
did
gonna
you
have to
wanna
read it
share?
again because I need to wrap up what happened. But I feel like there was so many things that we spent so much time worrying about, and not enough time was spent on it when it happened. So Anna getting shot in the cryo tube, falling out of the back of the whatever transport carrier they were putting her
Mhm.
on, trying to get away. And Preacher did, Preacher did his thing. I really don't think maybe this is why we need a visual medium for
Mhm.
this, but I really don't think we spent enough emotional uh, recourse on why we spent 2.5 books chasing this person and then having her not be there anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know we actually saw and we went through the scene of Ezekiel crying while during all this other stuff happening, but I feel like it took away from 2 books worth of why are we doing this? You know,
Mhm.
like poor Zeke. But I don't think there was enough. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe I did. Maybe I missed a little bit, but
Mhm.
I just feel like there wasn't enough closure there, really.
I think in Eve's case, it was a way to show that she had matured, perhaps, because she all through the first 2 novels, she was like, "I'm going to kill her. I'm going to kill her."
Mm.
Once she finds out about him, then it's like, "Well, no, you need to rest in peace." Not vengefully, but as a mercy to Hannah, as
Well,
opposed to.
imagine if you go through the duality, if you're expected to be the person and if you don't want to be that person, and there's that. I don't know. It was a childish. I think the idea is that all the lifelikes really had like childish emotions. They were really
Mhm.
at the very bottom state. They were just learning about how to deal with that much. They didn't know what emotions were to begin with. Like
Right,
they're just like, oh, what the hell is this? It's we're already teenagers. Holy crap!
right,
So there's a lot of that. So it's just
and no experience and no filter.
that's that could explain
Well,
the
that's the
brother
way
sisters, right?
Ezekiel essentially explains it to them. I think it was to Lemon
Yeah.
at some point. So it's a lot to handle.
So one brother gets mad and murders the whole family. One brother gets depressed, kills and they're all different versions of each other. Like they all go through different
Hmm.
storylines, but they're the same robot, right? So is that part of the story here? Is it to outline that when you actually model these AI off of other people, they still end up making different choices?
Well, you could say all three of us are humans. We are both all in the same category, but we're very different. You see what I mean? As the platform's the same, basically. But what goes on in here, totally different. See what I mean?
Yeah.
And even with programming, you could create like all these different systems, but you have absolutely no way how they're going to interact until they start running. And then it's like, oh no, that's why you have so many glitches in games. So, to use a minor example, but I'm sure with humans it's the same way. Sometimes, you have these different systems in your brain, and sometimes, oh well, there's this biochemical imbalance, and now you're this way. Not your fault, but it's because the chemistry in your brain is different. So Something to think about. And there's also the experiences, nature and nurture. Which I can't say if any of them reign supreme, but you know,
Well, I think I like. Yeah, I agree. But
who can say?
people need more nurturing at the beginning and let nature teach them afterwards.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Now, in the modern notion, I guess I read, I guess the synopsis of an article that said the parents are these days are letting the children f around and find out, and take the
I
consequences.
saw that. I think
Yeah. So why not? Yeah. Then they'll
you
learn
learned the hard way. I did.
experientially. Yep. You did this, therefore this is going to happen now.
As a parent, that's frustrating to
That's
watch.
pretty damn harsh too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it is frustrating. I
Oh
get it.
yeah, I I don't have kids, but I understand how intellectually how that might be difficult. But how else will you learn? That will implant the lesson. Now, what will happen after that? Who knows? Yeah, with the kid in question said, "Well, this is bullshit. I don't think this is right," and be even more rebellious, or say, "Oh, okay, yeah, I screwed up." Who
So
knows?
that would actually make a lot of sense as to why these lifelike uh,
Mm-hmm.
made all those. They're still children. They made bad
Yeah,
choices.
yeah,
They didn't know. They didn't have the therapy to know how to get up after the fall.
Well, none of them had the therapy, but like Ezekiel still was like,
That's not right.
yeah, like he had a good like moral compass, and
Was he the one that was modeled after the kid, Alex?
Oh, I don't remember.
Because that would make even more sense too. Because then he would be because he was the one that asked the Gabe, "Why are you doing this?" When Gabe was killing everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I was just wondering if that innocence was in Ezekiel in some way that he was just like, "No, why?"
Well, that's a good example of the unintended consequences of multiple systems interacting with each other. You know, Nicholas, the father says, "Oh, it's going to be a good idea to take out the to remove the limitations of the three laws of robotics, enabling these lifelikes to kill human beings because I want them to kill the board." Okay, which they do, but he never puts them back. So you have that now operational, and then finding out, well, that's wrong. Killing people is wrong, and they interact and they get angry because they were used, rightfully so. They have a case, but the way,
Overreacted emotions.
yeah. And what is it? What's the one here? Disproportionate force, maybe,
Yeah. Okay.
to remedy the situation. But and the one thing that they pointed out was, um, well, if we were truly Nicholas's kids, why didn't he send his own real kids to do this stuff rather than us?
Right. Well, we were the toys. We were the expendable
Yeah.
ones.
Well,
Right.
and they were more proficient at it, true, but I'm sure that was never a consideration. We made it to, in Nicholas's mind, we made a tool for this reason, and we're going to use it for that purpose. And then modifying its design and said, we're going to use it for this additional purpose. We're not taking out the limitations again, not putting them back.
Interesting.
And then they become self-aware to the point where it says, hey, this is wrong. I feel used, and they get resentful. So there's a case to be made for them, but the way in which they took their revenge, maybe not.
well, what I think is interesting. I mean, like you're saying that Ezekiel's like innocent, but I don't think innocent means he has to do the right thing.
Well, innocent would mean not doing the wrong thing, which is different.
Hmm.
But I feel like Ezekiel had the most self-awareness and like
Mhm.
took the most responsibility for the things that he did,
And he was much.
despite the fact that all the other robots were just telling him that he was just programmed to behave that way versus, you know, him making the choice, like the free will to be that way.
Yes. How dare you express your freedom? You know, because is that what we want you to do? Essentially, the same thing. Whereas all the other, life likes did exactly as Gabriel commanded, so that was okay. So how dare you be an individual? A question about Eve, though, because it seemed like, especially through the third book, it seems like the person or persons she talked to last, that's the side she was on for a lot of it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't like that either.
and again, I don't know. It just seemed to me that I forget what the sequence was. Like she's in the tower, and Gabriel essentially goes out to Ult, go out and prove it, and go after Lemon, which she does. Okay, we're team uh, lifelike now. Then she talks to Lemon, and she has doubts naturally. So now we're team human again until and then it's just back and forth, back and forth. And that could be because it's how should I put this? Like loving humanity and such is one thing, but when your loved ones start getting hurt, that's a different matter.
I
So,
mean, but Eve was kind of having an identity crisis for like
yeah,
a portion of the
yeah,
story, and so much of her journey was her figuring out, okay, what action
hmm
do I want to take? Who do I want to be?
hmm
Um,
oh yeah, it was relevant to the plot, but it just seemed like, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I just didn't pick up on the nuances, but that's just what it seemed like. Oh, who am I talking to last? Yeah, I'm on your team now. So
did you have a favorite character, Tom?
I think Cricket was my favorite of all of them. Yeah, and and I could not help but think that in some way the preacher was modeled after Cad Bane. I don't know which came first, but I think that Cad Bane came first because it sure seems like it. So, yeah, and preacher would be my second one because he had some.
He was an interesting character.
Yeah, he was sort of a comic relief, which is weird in a way, but yeah. What about you, Desiree?
I think my favorite character is Ezekiel.
Okay, she's all about love.
Yep, that is exactly why.
Okay, there you go.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I think he's just like a character that's willing to do the right thing in even in tough instances, and I
hmm
feel like uh, not a lot of humans are able to do that. I think like people frequently take the easy way out, or yeah, the easy way out.
hmm
Um, Now, at this point, you have read the Nevernight series, and
hmm
and now uh,
Lifelike.
Lifelike. Thank you. Um, they're obviously very different, but do you like how would you compare them, like in regards to how you felt about them, or which one do you think is better?
I will say that Nevernight, because of the quasi-Roman setting, gets like a star bump from me because I like that setting. But I just think that was a better done novel, even though it was clear that some of the things were taken from like Harry Potter and the other things. But I just preferred that one. This one, like I said, yes, the first book, yes, with the world building, great, four. But then we weren't really shown anything new in the next couple of books. So So that was sort of disappointing. Whereas I think I have to reread Nevernight to prove this, but
Mhm.
you know, it's important. It's important to be same enough to be recognizable as the series, but different enough that, oh, good, I learned something new. It's not just more of the same. I think Nevernight had the Nevernight series had that, and this one didn't. So
I don't remember if this series was YA or not, but I know that Nevernight is not.
This was
I
considered
think
YA.
well, she's young enough to be when it starts. The protagonist is young enough to be YA. I know that because it's like this is awfully young to be having this sort of scene like right in the beginning of the book.
Are you talking about Nevernight?
Yeah, Nevernight.
Yeah, but like based on the content, it is not.
And he said
that
that,
is
Yeah,
and
and
he
he
has
has
said
said that multiple times. Yeah.
yeah. So
Um, but I think the Lifelike series might be.
It is.
Um, and John and I have read another series that he co-wrote.
oh, that one,
Illuminate?
yeah, I know.
Illuminate, yeah, Illuminate. It was a sci-fi that we really enjoyed,
Mhm.
which also has like AI and future space stuff in it. It's really good.
Yeah, I don't know what else he's written, but I'm thinking my likely front runner for him will be Nevernight.
Empire of the Vampire is the other series.
Yeah, the third book.
Again,
Yeah.
vampires not so much interested. So yeah, that's why.
There was a series that, before Nevernight, but I don't remember what the name of it was.
Oh, with the samurai.
Is that what it is? There's,
I think so.
okay.
Yeah, I don't know what it's
Well,
called.
now my interest is peaked because yes, I do like
A
samurai.
Lotus something.
Yeah. And it could be very well turn out that the vampire is really good, but so many books, so little time.
I mean, isn't that always the case?
Yes, that's always the case. Bad problem to have, good problem to have.
Well, I don't know. Anything final thoughts?
We can do that.
Okay.
I don't remember what I gave the first two books, but I know that this one is 4 stars. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I like Jay's work a lot, and I caught a couple of the references, and I enjoyed it very much. But there was just something I wanted a little more from this one.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Tom?
I think I gave mine already, but like I said, this I mean, it's fine plot wise, easy read, but again, it didn't show us anything new about the world really, and that's what I would have preferred. So yeah, I gave it a 3. I would give it a 3. Good, it's a good read. Would I pick it up again? Probably not, because oh yeah, and I remember. But the issues it discussed are bigger and more discussable than the book itself. So, and that's what makes it a good discussion book.
I think I would also give it a 4, and
Okay.
I think I would definitely benefit from a reread and like reading it with my eyeballs. But will I? I don't know.
Yeah,
Again, it's so many books.
Will I go through it
such
again,
limited
maybe.
time. Yeah.
In a couple years.
I had infinite time and infinite books.
Excuse me.
Yeah, because right now I only own the first book anyway, so like I'd have to get the other two. But I would at least throw it on my to reread list, which is very tiny because there's not that many books that I feel I'd want to make the time for. But
I think that list for me is almost exclusively. Well, there's 2 reasons why I would read the book. Oh my God, this is so good! I'm going to reread it like more because I've read that like 5 times now. But there's others like Piranesi. I read it once. That's like I still have no idea what's going on. Now I have to reread it. Oh, yeah. So
yeah, I get that. Well, our next book, which is our August book, is We Are Not From Here.
what's it?
We are not from here.
Oh, okay.
We Are Not From Here. Jenny Torres Sanchez is the author.
Mhm.
Well, you guys don't ever like hearing the backs of stuff, but it's.
Can I say
great
that the reason
story.
why? is if you
I
read,
mean, like-
if you read the blurb on Goodreads for, what the hell was it? It was the Octavia Butler's book,
Mhm.
Parable of Silver. Huge spoiler, and it's like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that again. So
Why would they put that in the? Okay.
yeah.
I don't know. Romance. You know what's going to happen in a romance book? It's not. I mean,
That's why you read them, yeah.
All right.
So
Well, it
whatever.
says romance there, so it must be heavy. Yeah, no.
But I mean, like, I get it. I just when you haven't read the back of the book, then you really have no expectations, and you can just kind of
Yes.
experience it
And
for,
you
Just
let
go
for
right
what it
along
is.
and take
on
it
its
as it
own,
goes.
on its own terms. Right, exactly.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. So we will figure out whenever our next discussion is going to be. But if you've been here the whole time, thank you for hanging out, and hopefully you will join us for the next book. So one more time, if you ever want to join us on camera for these discussions, you can do that by becoming a book club VIP member at patreon.com/LibriLabra. And have a happy Saturday, and see you guys later.
Bye, guys.
Next time.
Bye.